Injustice carries a unique weight, almost invisible, yet capable of crushing the soul. It is not merely the act of being wronged, it is the emotional and spiritual impact it leaves behind. It feels like bearing a wound that does not bleed but aches constantly, while others around seem unable to grasp its depth. The chosen one understands that injustice is not fleeting. It is like a persistent shadow that infiltrates thoughts and questions one's very essence. The pain of injustice is compounded by the sense of isolation. It feels as though the world around is silent, oblivious to the inner struggle the chosen one endures. No one sees the effort to maintain dignity intact when everything around seeks to destroy it. Each blow, whether verbal, emotional, or spiritual, echoes in a void where cries for help find no immediate answer. Yet this solitude is not abandonment. It is a space where God watches intently, silently preparing the perfect moment to act. When the chosen one faces injustices, the temptation to succumb to despair is great. There are moments of questioning. Why me? Why does this happen to me while others live in peace? Such questions are natural, but God, in His wisdom, uses even these moments of doubt to strengthen the spirit. The pain of injustice, when viewed through a divine perspective, becomes fertile ground for spiritual growth. It is in this environment of apparent abandonment that the chosen one discovers an inner strength they never knew they possessed. While the world may appear indifferent or even complicit with the injustices suffered, there is one gaze that never turns away: God's. He sees what human eyes cannot perceive, the hidden intentions and the deepest thoughts of those who plot against the chosen one. No matter how intricate the lies or dark the manipulations, nothing escapes His divine vigilance. He observes in silence, but His silence is not absence, it is preparation. Every betrayal, every act of wickedness is recorded by God, not for immediate condemnation, but to act at the right time. His justice is never hurried, yet it never fails. The chosen one may often feel abandoned, believing that God is distant, but the truth is that His presence is constant, even when imperceptible. He stands by the chosen one through every tear, every sigh of pain, and every moment of doubt. Divine protection is not always visible or immediate, but it is powerful. God not only shields the chosen one from visible dangers, but also works behind the scenes, diverting traps that go unnoticed. He fortifies the chosen one's heart, strengthening their faith and shaping their character while preparing the stage for the truth to prevail. Those who scheme in the shadows believe they are in control, unaware that their actions are being used by God for a greater purpose. God's silence is a weapon against the arrogance of enemies and a reminder that His justice is as certain as the rising sun. Divine justice is one of the greatest demonstrations of God's perfection. Unlike human justice, which is limited and often flawed, God's justice operates flawlessly, for He sees all things in their entirety. Nothing escapes His sight, and no act of injustice remains hidden. Yet this justice does not manifest hastily or impulsively. It is meticulously planned and occurs at the exact moment when its impact is most powerful and transformative. While wrongdoers scheme in the shadows, believing their time is secure, God is preparing the stage for a divine reversal. He allows circumstances to unfold, testing the chosen one's patience while revealing the true character of those who commit injustices. For the chosen one, this wait may seem endless, but it is during this period that they develop deeper faith and unwavering trust in God's plan. God uses this time to mold the chosen one, strengthening them so that, when justice finally emerges, they are ready to embrace it with wisdom. When divine justice arises, it not only restores truth, but also transforms the lives of those who witness its action. For the chosen one, it is a moment of exaltation, where all the tears shed and the nights of despair find their purpose. For the wrongdoers, it is a demonstration of God's undeniable power, dismantling their lies and exposing their deeds. Divine justice is not merely an act of correction, it is an eternal lesson that God never abandons those who trust in Him and that the truth will always find its way. Wrongdoers trust in their ability to manipulate others' perceptions. To them, the truth is something they can shape to suit their intentions. They fabricate stories, distort facts, and manipulate emotions, believing they can control the narrative. However, what they fail to understand is that truth possesses its own force, an energy that, even when suppressed, finds ways to emerge. This force is fueled by the integrity of the Chosen One and upheld by the unshakable power of God. In attempting to destroy the reputation of the Chosen One, wrongdoers reveal more about themselves than about their victim. Their actions betray their insecurity and inability to cope with the light that the Chosen One carries. They act in the shadows because they know their position is not solid, but built on fragile lies. The Chosen One, on the other hand, remains steadfast even in the face of adversity, as their strength comes not from appearances but from an inner truth that God protects. Manipulation may seem victorious at first, but it is a sandcastle destined to crumble. Wrongdoers underestimate not only the strength of the Chosen One but also the power of God, who observes patiently. At the right moment, God turns the tide. The truth they tried to distort turns against them, and their lies become traps that expose their lack of character. Meanwhile, the Chosen One is strengthened, proving that no manipulation can extinguish the light of someone under divine protection. The loneliness the Chosen One faces during these attacks is often the hardest part of their journey. It is not merely physical separation from those around them, but the emotional void that arises when those who should support them remain silent or distant. However, this isolation is not a permanent abandonment, but a carefully permitted test by God. He uses these moments of silence to strengthen the Chosen One's faith, teaching them to trust fully in His presence, even when others seem absent. The attacks endured by the Chosen One are not signs of weakness, but of their strength. Those who plot against them do so because they see a light they cannot extinguish. To the wrongdoers, this light is a threat, something that exposes their own flaws. They attempt to undermine the Chosen One's confidence with cruel words, lies, and scorn. Yet every blow meant to weaken them becomes a brick that builds their resilience. God allows these trials to prepare the Chosen One for something greater. In these moments of pain and doubt, the Chosen One learns that their strength does not come from their own abilities, but from their connection to God. They realize they are not alone, even when everything around them seems to collapse. The loneliness and attacks, as devastating as they may appear, are like the heat that tempers steel. They shape the Chosen One to be unshakable, strengthening them for the challenges and victories yet to come. God alone knows the depth of every pain the Chosen One endures. He records every malicious word spoken, every unjust act, and every tear shed in secret. This is not mere passive observation, but an active process of transformation. Every injustice the Chosen One endures is turned by God into something far greater than any human could imagine. What appears to be useless suffering in the eyes of the world is, to God, an essential component of a greater purpose. This divine record is not just a reminder that justice will be served, but also a promise that nothing will be forgotten or ignored. For the Chosen One, knowing that God sees all things brings comfort and strength. In moments of despair, they may wonder, why is this happening to me? But God, in His wisdom, turns these questions into seeds of faith. Every act of malice recorded is an opportunity for the Chosen One to grow, mature, and prepare for the victory that is to come. The victory God prepares for the Chosen One is not small or temporary. It is grand and transformative. It not only corrects the injustices suffered, but also elevates the Chosen One to a new level of spiritual understanding and purpose. When this victory arrives, it is complete, making it clear to all that God has been working from the beginning. The Chosen One, who once felt lost in the midst of pain, realizes that every moment was part of a greater plan. And those who witness this transformation learn that God not only sees pain, but uses it to create something extraordinary. Wrongdoers believe their lies are powerful tools capable of shaping realities and manipulating perceptions. They weave intricate webs of deceit, trusting that their false narratives will remain unquestioned. However, what they fail to understand is that truth has its own power, sustained by God, who works silently to ensure it prevails. As they craft their lies, wrongdoers unknowingly dig their own traps, oblivious to the fact that they are preparing the ground for their downfall. Every lie told against the chosen one is like a stone thrown into a lake. At first, it seems to create only superficial ripples, but over time, those ripples turn into inevitable consequences. God allows wrongdoers to proceed confident in their manipulations only for their schemes to confront them at the right moment. When the truth begins to surface, it not only dismantles the lies but also exposes those responsible, revealing their true nature to all. As wrongdoers are consumed by their own traps, the chosen one, who has borne the weight of slander, sees their truth shine brightly. This truth, protected by God, not only restores the chosen one's integrity, but also serves as a beacon of hope for others. It is a clear demonstration that no lie can withstand divine light, and that the truth, no matter how obscured, will always find its way to shine. For the chosen one, it is a reminder that patience and faith are never in vain, and for the wrongdoers, it is a lesson that divine justice is as certain as it is inevitable. The light of the chosen one is something wrongdoers cannot bear, for it exposes their darkness. This light does not stem from worldly achievements or external circumstances. It comes from God, and thus it is unshakable. In their arrogance, wrongdoers believe they can extinguish it through slander, manipulation, and dark strategies. However, they fail to understand that divine light cannot be extinguished by human actions, no matter how cruel or intricate they may be. Every attempt to tarnish the integrity of the chosen one is, in truth, a testament to their strength. The relentless attacks are not signs of weakness, but evidence that their light disturbs those who dwell in darkness. God, who protects the chosen one, not only ensures that these slanders do not destroy them, but also transforms these situations into opportunities for their light to shine even brighter. What seemed like a fatal attack becomes a platform for the manifestation of truth and divine glory. The integrity of the chosen one is like a solid rock built on the foundation of their faith in God. No matter how much wrongdoers try to erode it, it remains steadfast because its base is not earthly, but heavenly. In His wisdom, God uses these attempts at manipulation as lessons for both the chosen one and the world around them. While wrongdoers exhaust themselves in their schemes, the chosen one emerges even stronger, proving that no slander can prevail against someone under divine protection. This light, upheld by God, not only endures but shines with greater intensity, serving as an eternal reminder that integrity and truth always triumph. The trials faced by the chosen one are not accidents or mere misfortunes. They are carefully permitted by God, who uses each challenge as part of a refining process. Just as gold is purified by fire, the chosen one is refined through adversity. Each hardship, each loss, and each betrayal is an opportunity to strengthen their faith, reveal their true essence, and prepare them for a purpose far greater than they could imagine. During these moments, the chosen one may feel lost, questioning the reason for so many struggles. It is natural for them to wonder why God allows these things to happen. But in reality, these trials are like a garden being prepared to bloom. The soil must be turned, the seeds buried, and the rain must fall. Similarly, the chosen one must go through these periods of apparent darkness and chaos for their spiritual strength to manifest. The rebirth that God plans for the chosen one is not just a recovery, it is a transformation. They emerge from the trials not as they were before, but as someone stronger, wiser, and more connected to their mission. This rebirth is a testament to God's power to turn pain into glory and suffering into purpose. When the chosen one rises, they not only overcome the challenges but become an inspiration to others, showing that God uses even the most difficult moments to fulfill His perfect plans. Every tear shed by the chosen one carries profound meaning, even when it seems to reflect only their pain. God sees each tear as if it were a precious jewel and collects them with care. They do not fall in vain, for every drop of suffering is a seed planted in the soil of divine purpose. While the chosen one weeps in silence, believing their struggle is unseen, God is working behind the scenes, transforming their pain into something that will flourish at the right time. The nights of despair, when the chosen one feels lost, are not forgotten. They are moments of deep connection with God, even when He seems silent. It is in this silence that the most intense divine work occurs. During these nights, the chosen one confronts their own limitations, doubts, and fears. This confrontation, though difficult, is necessary for them to discover the strength God has placed within them and the ability to trust in a greater plan, even when it is not clearly visible. When God's time comes, the tears that once seemed to signify only suffering are transformed into fruits of victory. Every moment of pain finds its purpose, and the chosen one realizes that nothing was in vain. The seeds watered by their tears give rise to a garden of resilience, wisdom, and spiritual strength. This process is not just a restoration, but an elevation. The chosen one understands that even in the darkest moments, God was working, turning their sorrow into something extraordinary. The attacks faced by the chosen one are not merely tests of their strength, they are also reflections of the weaknesses of those who perpetrate them. Every cruel word, act of manipulation, and attempt to humiliate the chosen one reveals something fundamental about the wrongdoers, their insecurity and inability to cope with the light. While the chosen one walks with integrity, they are consumed by envy and fear of being confronted by the truth. Their attacks are not just strategies, they are silent cries of their own limitations. These moments of confrontation reveal far more than the wrongdoers would like. Their actions, which initially may seem calculated and precise, end up exposing their true intentions to destroy the chosen one because their light disturbs them. They attempt to project their own flaws onto the chosen one, but in doing so, they reveal who they truly are. God allows these situations not only to strengthen the chosen one, but also to bring forth the truth about those who plot against them. While wrongdoers unmask themselves through their actions, the chosen one, even in pain, maintains their essence. They do not need to retaliate, for their strength lies in the truth they carry and in God's protection. The attacks, rather than breaking them, become evidence of their resilience and the divine justice at work. In the end, the weaknesses of the wrongdoers are laid bare for all to see, while the chosen one remains steadfast, like a beacon that cannot be extinguished by the storms surrounding them. The betrayals the chosen one faces are undoubtedly moments of intense pain. They come from people they trusted, from places where they expected support. Yet, God, in His infinite wisdom, transforms these acts of malice into opportunities for spiritual growth. Each betrayal, no matter how devastating it seems, is a divine tool used to shape the character of the chosen one, strengthening them for even greater challenges. When the chosen one is betrayed, they feel shattered, but it is in this moment that God begins to work most profoundly. He takes each broken piece and rebuilds it with a foundation that is stronger and more solid than before. This reconstruction is not only emotional but also spiritual. God teaches the chosen one that their strength does not depend on circumstances or the people around them, but on their connection with Him. Thus, the chosen one learns to trust completely in God, even when the world seems to be falling apart. This suffering, though painful, is not in vain. God uses every moment of pain as a step to elevate the chosen one to a new level of understanding and purpose. He transforms betrayal into a platform for learning and growth, and the chosen one emerges from it more resilient and prepared. The wrongdoers who believed they had destroyed the chosen one are astonished to see them not only survive but thrive. God demonstrates that nothing, not even the cruelest actions, can hinder the plans He has for those who trust in Him. Betrayal then ceases to be a burden and becomes a testament to God's transformative power. Divine justice is a force that operates silently, out of sight of the world, but with relentless precision. While wrongdoers act hastily, trying to conceal their deeds and manipulate circumstances, God works carefully and meticulously. He does not rush, for His justice is inevitable. Nothing escapes His notice, and every lie, every betrayal, and every act of malice is recorded to be addressed in its proper time. This silence is often misunderstood as inactivity. The chosen one may wonder why God does not intervene immediately, while the wrongdoers may believe they have escaped unpunished. But God's silence is the preparation for something much greater. He allows events to unfold so that, when His justice manifests, it is undeniable. The truth emerges with such overwhelming force that it dismantles every lie and undoes every scheme. The restoration that divine justice brings is complete. For the chosen one, it not only corrects the injustices suffered, but also brings peace to their heart, showing that God was always in control. For the wrongdoers, it is a reminder that no act of malice goes unnoticed. And for those who witness it, it is a testimony that truth, upheld by God, always prevails. Divine justice is not merely an act of correction. It is a demonstration of God's power, an invitation to trust in Him, and proof that His will is perfect. Wrongdoers, confident in their manipulations and lies, often see themselves as untouchable. They believe their actions will never have consequences, feeling secure in their strategies and alliances. This arrogance blinds them to the reality of a higher justice, a divine force that sees beyond appearances and records every one of their actions. To them, God's silence is a sign of impunity, but they are unaware that He is merely waiting for the right moment to act. The weight of the wrongdoer's actions is not immediate but inevitable. Initially, they may appear victorious, dominating the narrative and manipulating perceptions. However, this dominance is temporary. God allows them to progress only to the point where their own actions become their traps. At the appointed time, the arrogance that drove them turns into despair as they are confronted with the consequences of their choices. It is in this moment that the true power of divine justice is revealed. Meanwhile, the chosen one, who has endured betrayal and attacks, is exalted by God. This exaltation is not just a restoration. It is a testimony to all who witness it. The chosen one, who once seemed defeated, is elevated to a position of honor, while the wrongdoers are exposed and face the weight of their actions. God demonstrates once again that He never abandons those who trust in Him, and that, in the end, truth and integrity always prevail. This victory is not merely a personal triumph for the chosen one, but also a reminder to the world that no one can escape divine justice. The resilience of the chosen one is like an unshakable rock in the midst of a storm. No matter how fiercely the winds blow or how high the waters rise to submerge it, the rock stands firm, upheld by a strength unseen to human eyes but felt in every action, in every decision to persevere. This strength comes from their faith, a profound connection with God that protects and guides them, even in moments when all seems lost. The chosen one's resilience is not a natural gift. It is forged through trials. Every difficulty faced by the chosen one is a test and also an opportunity to strengthen their faith. While wrongdoers believe their attacks will break them, the chosen one discovers an inner strength that can only be explained as the fruit of divine grace. It is in the darkest moments that this resilience becomes most evident. Every attempt to bring them down becomes, in truth, a push for them to rise stronger. God turns every blow into an opportunity for growth, showing that His protection is constant and unyielding. The resilience of the chosen one is also a testimony to the world. It inspires others who face their own battles, showing that it is possible to endure and overcome through faith. The chosen one becomes a living example that, with God, no struggle is in vain. Every scar is a mark of victory. Every tear is transformed into strength, and every apparent defeat becomes a stepping stone to something greater. Divine protection not only keeps them standing, but also empowers them to move forward, proving that those who trust in God are truly unbreakable. The pain, which so often feels unbearable, is in fact fertile ground prepared by God for something great to bloom. In the moment it is experienced, it seems like a heavy burden. But over time, the chosen one realizes that every tear, every sigh of anguish, is being used by God as part of a greater plan. The soil of pain is where the seeds of resilience, wisdom, and truth are planted and begin to grow. Suffering is a process no one desires, but it profoundly transforms those who go through it. For the chosen one, every blow endured is like a spade digging deeper into this soil, allowing the roots of their faith to grow even stronger. They learn to trust God even when the final outcome is unclear. This trust is the water that nourishes these seeds and prepares them to sprout at the right time. God never lets pain be in vain. He uses it to reveal truth and strengthen the chosen one. When the truth finally blossoms, It is not just a testimony of survival, but also living proof that God turns suffering into purpose. The garden that arises from this soil of pain is filled with fruits, strength, wisdom, maturity, and peace. The chosen one realizes that every moment of suffering was necessary to shape them, to prepare them for something far greater than they could have imagined. And while the wrongdoers see their lies crumble, the truth of the chosen one shines brightly, showing the world that God not only observes, but transforms. The chosen one's victory is more than a personal achievement. It is a public declaration of God's power and faithfulness. It is the moment when all doubts, all nights of despair, and all attacks endured find their definitive answer. This victory is not just a reversal of the injustices suffered, but a testament that God was with the chosen one every step of their journey, shaping them, strengthening them, and guiding them to this triumphant moment. For the chosen one, this victory is a confirmation that their faith was not in vain. Every silent prayer, every tear shed in secret, every act of resistance against the wrongdoer's lies now finds its purpose. God, in His wisdom, used every moment of suffering to prepare the chosen one for something far greater than they could have imagined. This victory is complete and transformative, evidence that divine justice not only corrects, but elevates. Beyond being a reflection of God's faithfulness, the chosen one's victory serves as an example to all who face their own battles. Those who observe their journey find hope and inspiration, learning that trusting in God, even in the most difficult circumstances, always brings reward. The chosen one, now triumphant, becomes a light for others, showing that patience, integrity, and faith are never forgotten by God. Their victory is a powerful message. Divine justice may seem delayed, but when it comes, it is undeniable, and its impact reaches far beyond the chosen one. The path of the chosen one is arduous and filled with challenges. At every step, they face obstacles that test not only their strength, but also their patience, their faith, and their integrity. This journey, often lonely and painful, is a path of transformation. The chosen one learns that patience is not merely the ability to wait, but the ability to trust in God while His timing unfolds. It is this patience that sustains the chosen one through the hardest moments, ensuring they remain steadfast even when victory seems distant. The faith of the chosen one is what keeps them standing. Every challenge they face is an opportunity to reaffirm their trust in God's plan. While the world around them may question their hope or doubt their resilience, the chosen one knows that true strength does not come from circumstances but from their connection to the divine. This faith, often invisible to others, is the pillar that helps them weather the storms, always with the certainty that God is at work, even when everything seems lost. Finally, the integrity of the chosen one seals their destiny. In a world where many succumb to the temptation to retaliate or stray from the path of truth, the chosen one remains faithful to their values. They understand that even when everything around them is uncertain, integrity is their greatest defense. God honors this integrity in a grand way, bringing truth to light and restoring peace completely. In the end, the path of the chosen one is not just a story of survival, but a powerful testimony that patience, faith, and integrity are always rewarded. They become living proof that those who trust in God receive not only justice, but also a peace that transcends all human understanding.